This is the story of Jake Singer, a corporate employee turned entrepreneur who built a platform leveraging no-code tools that has paid more than $300,000 to newsletter writers. And so in this video, we're going to be breaking down the story and talking a little bit about the no-code tools that were used. Welcome to the Startup Studio, everyone. My name's Christian. I'm the co-founder of WeAreNoCode, a company that helps non-technical entrepreneurs build and launch their startup ideas. And if this is your first time checking out the channel, then please subscribe to it. We'll constantly give you tips and tricks to launch your business as a non-techie. Now back to the story. Jake Singer was an employee at Amazon for 5 years as a product manager when he basically realized that he wanted to create his own thing and he was not built for the corporate life. And as many of you may imagine, his main motivation to start this business was to never have to work in corporate again. So today Swapstack is a marketplace for newsletter writers to be able to find advertisers to advertise on their newsletters. Now, the initial idea for the marketplace actually came from Jake running his own newsletter and facing the same problems when he was looking to monetize the newsletter or find brands that were willing to sponsor him. And that's when they came up with the concept behind the startup. And this platform is built in Bubble, a very popular no-code tool, which has built out the entire web app. Now, that's not how it started, but no-code was always involved in the process from the get-go. Now, for their first MVP, their goal was simply to be able to connect advertisers with newsletter writers. And they were able to build a product leveraging a couple of no-code tools. One of those is Airtable, a database that also allows you to do certain automations. They also used Slack to be able to have communications and to run some automations through that, and used Zapier to transfer information around as well. Now, once they were successfully able to connect these brands and writers, they then realized they wanted to build a more robust product that would be able to service these customers at scale. And so that's really an important lesson in and of itself, because at first you want to build things out to test the market. And the main goal there is to be able to deliver the value that a customer is looking for. So in this case, connecting the brand with the specific writer and having a deal take place. But then over time, and once you understand the value that you're delivering to end customers, you want to build a product that allows you to scale the value you bring to customers. So oftentimes people mistake this and focus on features. The value is what the customer is looking for and what we have to scale. We're just building products to be able to do that. Sidetrack, let's get back to the story. So when they built out this first product, they built it leveraging Bubble, but they actually went into the low-code sphere, which is when you add some code to a no-code stack. And so they built the entire app with Bubble and then had some custom scripts or some couple lines of code that were written out for some of the API connections. And they also connected a SQL database, which allowed them to run their dashboard more effectively with another tool called Metabase. They also leveraged another tool for onboarding customers called Webflow, which allows you to build beautiful websites and front ends. And so someone would register through this page, figure out everything that they do, really beautiful, and then they would go into Bubble where the web app was able to deliver the value for them. His cost of building out the first platform was actually less than $100, and today he spends $500, and that's almost purely software. Now, some things we can take away from this is that, first of all, it is great if you have your own problem to then go validate if more people have this problem. And then also to very early on in your startup to actually validate the business model. Are people willing to pay for this service? You know, at first they really had to make sure that people were interested, specifically the brands, to pay for newsletters. Now, in making this connection and realizing there was demand, they then were able to go into the next step. Another great takeaway about no-code is that you don't necessarily have to build a first product that's going to scale. So in this example, they tested out the market to make sure that there was demand, leveraging a couple no-code tools. And then once they knew there was demand, they built it leveraging a different platform to fulfill their needs. Now, a lot of people think that that's a waste of time, but it couldn't be further than the truth. The tool they used for the second product has a much longer learning curve. So it didn't make sense for them to invest time into learning that platform until they had taken the first step, which was much quicker to execute on. And that's the way that we want to really spread out our resources. As we have more resources, we can literally take more time and money to do things. But remember that entrepreneurship is a trial and error path. You walk in with a bunch of assumptions and then you want to put those to the test. And you have to look at the results in the face, reiterate. Sometimes you want to come back to the drawing board, but there's one thing that's for sure is that no code makes the process more affordable, quicker, and open to anyone who is non-technical. Oh, I almost forgot, below you can download a free course on how to build your startup as a non-technical entrepreneur. Hope you enjoyed that video and see you in the next one.